The Catholic Church, the most holy and moral institution to ever exist in the world, minus all the controversies, but don't look into that. And at the head of the church is the Pope, the holiest man in all the land. But in the church's 2,000-year history, there have been a couple bad ones. And good news for you, today, we're ranking the worst. That's right. We got all the worst popes lined up. We'll be going through all of them. I mean, we got some of these popes that turned, the Vatican into a brothel, potentially worshiped Satan. Some of them were accused of bestiality. Others murdered popes just to become pope themselves. There's a long laundry list of evil popes from back in the day. And today we're going to be breaking them all down. All that and more will be explained in the next hour and a half. So if you're interested in dirty religious history, this is the episode for you. So sit back, relax, and welcome to camp. What's up, people, and welcome back to camp. My name is Mark Gagnon, and welcome to my beautiful tent right here, where we explore the most interesting, fascinating, and controversial stories in the entire world. I break down all the details, and I explain them to my dumbest friends. And today I have a pretty dumb guy in the tent with me. My friend David is here. Also behind the tent, we have Gabe. What's up, Gabe?
Going home.
David, how are you?
I'm good.
Enough talking. What's up, guys? So if you are interested, by the way, we have merch that is available right now. It's at CampGoods.co. It's a beautiful barrel, and you can see behind me. Also have a mug. David, what do you think of these? Honest.
I don't know what idiots would buy those.
We also have shirts and hats. So if you're interested in any of those products, you can go get those at CampGoods.co. I'm also on the road. You can see me coming to your city to do 1 hour of what people have claimed is the greatest singular hour of stand-up comedy. I do 60 minutes on the dot, not a second over or under. Let's go to some of the comments from some of the previous episodes. You guys have been absolutely on your P's and Q's. From the Scott Payne episode, where we talk about Scott being an FBI undercover and going into neo-Nazi groups. Nick said, if Triple H and Corey from Pawn Stars had a child. So that's pretty good. That seems rude, though, to Scott Payne. I don't believe in that. Kevin Fernandez said, amazing, best video I've ever seen. Appreciate that.
He's lying.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's lying. And then Jerome McClansky said, quote, a sea of black leather and testosterone. That sounds way gayer than he meant it to be. I mean, yeah. And then CIA asset turned killer. The Charles Manson episode. I really like that one. Charles Manson was a wild boy. Dumb friend reporting for duty. Thank you, Adam. NL86. I appreciate that. Oh, a question or a comment from Bobber Kins. Fuck Miles. I was looking for one of those. Let's get a fuck Miles in the comments here. But we're not talking about Miles or merch or Magic Spoon. Today we're talking about the most evil popes in history. As you know, Pope Francis is on his last legs. Shout out to him, even though my family is not a fan. I'll just get ahead of this. He's looking a little bloated. Look, I am a devout Catholic, okay? I've gone to church almost every Sunday my entire life. Minus the last 7 years. But I go more frequently than you would think. Like, of my friends, I'm probably the most religious of my friends. Of my family of actual good Catholics, I am a proper apostate. But I try my best, okay? And I pray every night. And I love the Lord. And I think that there's beauty in the rosary. And shout out to the Sacred Mother, Mary. But as you can imagine, there have been some evil popes in history. We got 10 of them. We have, in the history of the Catholic Church, how many popes do you think there have been? Going back to Peter. Random guess.
Oh, wow. 12.
What the hell? I told you he was dumb, guys. I told you he was dumb. He's not even on camera. He's getting stage fright. This is next level stupidity.
35.
266.
Close enough.
I mean, how would you even get 35? If the church has been around since Peter, you got to estimate about like 2,000-ish years.
I thought they lived forever.
They live forever in the hearts of those.
262?
It's 266.
There's only 10 evil ones?
That's all I could find. 256 of them have been fucking model citizens. But 10 of them have been a little iffy. Okay?
Have you been to the Vatican?
I have been to the Vatican. I went into the secret chambers, into the crypt, and I started looking for artifacts. Apparently, there's all sorts of wild stuff in the basement of the Vatican.
Yeah.
I've never gone down there. I've never looked, but I have heard some wild stories. Maybe we do an episode on that. That could be kind of fun. But yeah, as you can imagine, there have been some popes that have had, less than stellar reputations. So let's just go through them, shall we? I'm pretty sure there was a pope that was actually a woman. We might get to that later. For the record, I didn't do all the research for this episode. This was done by my friend Jesus, which is, why is that funny? That's his actual name. He just happens to be Mexican. It's not his fault. And his name's Jesus, and he's a good guy. He's a good fucker from Texas, bro? And I was like, yo, write about these popes. He was like, okay, bro, I got you. So he started writing about the popes, and I'm reading this for the first time with y'all. So now who's the dumb friend, huh? No, there's no historical evidence to support the existence of a female pope. However, the legend of Pope Joan, I almost said Joanne.
Is that not Joanne?
No, Joanne is an Ann. There's an A-N-N-E. You never been to Fabrics? You never gotten Fabrics from Joanne's?
No, never.
No. Yeah, that's Pope Joan. Persisted for centuries that there was a female pope. Maybe you're just queer baiting. Maybe we just had a pope that was queer baiting. It's tough to know. All right, let's jump in. Pope John the 12th. He reigned from 930 to 964 AD. John the 12th was known for his depravity and worldliness. The younger Alberic, after the downfall of his mother, Marozia, became the absolute ruler of Rome. I mean, that's pretty wild. Before his death, he administered an oath in 954 to the Roman nobles at St. Peter's that on the next vacancy of the papal chair, his only son, Octavius, should be elected pope. If you name your kid Octavius, he should have no power ever. That is an insane name to name your child. That's the 12th, the youngest and worst pope in history. Wow. How old was he when he became pope? That's a good question. In his late teenage years or early 20s. He was 18 years old, likely 18 years old. Wow. So if he diddled, it wouldn't even... All right. We're not going to go there.
It's marginal.
We're not going to go there. You know what I mean? Because as a Catholic, I'm not going to commit heresy against the papal chair. Octavius was his son. That is, again, if you're naming your kid Octavius, you're a psycho. If you're white. If you're black, then you might just have a running back on your hands. But if you're a white guy naming your son Octavius, you're a psycho. That's an insane name. You cannot name your kid like a Roman emperor name. Because that just means that you are living vicariously through your kid. You're like, I'm going to name him something powerful. Which is quite gay. If you have a son and you name him like a powerful name. What are you doing? Naming your kid Octavius. After the death of the reigning pontiff, Agapetus II, Octavius, then around 18 years of age, or in his early 20s, was actually chosen as his successor. So he got his wish. In 955, his son became the successor, took the name of John. John the 12th turned the Lateran Palace, the papal residence, into what he was described as a brothel by his contemporaries. He was accused of adultery, incest, including an affair with his own niece, and having numerous mistresses. That's not great for the Pope. I don't know if any of y'all are not Catholics that are watching this. The priests, and every Pope was prior to, a cardinal and then a bishop and a priest. And priests take a vow of celibacy. I've actually heard described, you take a vow of poverty, of celibacy, and I forget what the third one is. It's like an older one. Like, I don't even know if they still really include this, but it's like solemnity. It's like you take like a vow of like sort of seriousness and, not just being like a real goofball. So if you want to remember it, no money, no honey, nothing funny. That's what it means to be a priest, all right? So having a brothel on the side or doing incest with your niece, I mean, that's just illegal in general, I think. But doing any of these things, as you can imagine, for a pope would not be ideal. Contemporary accusations claim he reportedly toasted to Satan during gambling sessions and invoked pagan deities before rolling dice. I mean, did he win? I feel like that's an important piece of information that was left out, Jesus. Because if he was winning, then it's like, yeah, you might have a point. Toasting Satan. I mean, that's just a hilarious move. If you're at a craps table, guy's like, dude, hail Satan, and then throws the dice. You're like, what is going on?
He sounds like the sickest pope ever right now.
Yeah, he's low-key. I mean, minus the incest. But even after the episode of White Lotus, I don't even know what's legal. But, yeah, dude. He's just jerking off Satan with his fucking dice hand. Just
on Molly.
Dude, you're at a craps table. The guy's like, hey, can you blow on it? Hail Satan. And then throws it. It's like, dude, what did you just bring me into your ritual? What the hell? I mean, that's crazy. So his son, John the 12th, he's the youngest and worst pope. That's insane. He was accused of celebrating Mass without taking communion and failing to make the sign of the cross. So again, for any non-Catholics, communion in the Catholic faith is known as the true incarnation of the flesh of Jesus Christ. This is done by an act known as transubstantiation. Only priests can make this happen, where basically the spirit of, the bread becomes imbued with the spirit of Christ, and we eat this body as a symbol of his sacrifice. But it's more than a symbol. It is the actual body and the spirit of Christ that exists within the piece of communion bread. So to take it, you have to be in a state of grace. You can't be having committed a mortal sin. And so if you're not taking communion, that probably means as a pope, you're in a state of mortal sin, which is not good. But maybe that's actually respectful and reverent, that he's like, hey, I have a brothel with my niece. I'm hailing Satan while I'm playing dice on the corner with my boys. And so I'm not going to take communion. Sounds like he's actually a good Catholic. He ordained clergy in inappropriate settings, such as a horse stable. All right. Of the things we've gone through, that doesn't seem that bad, right? Like, where was Jesus born?
Stable.
Exactly. Chattel. I think the audience will like that if we do inside jokes they don't know about. Yeah. You guys should have been there. Don't
dox us.
2 weeks ago.
Don't dox our hangout spots, please.
They don't know where.
They know where we are.
They don't. I'm in the Adirondacks. That's what I say every episode. I'm deep in the woods. They have no idea where we are. But we took a 3-hour boat into the city.
We took the ferry.
And we just grabbed a bite. Anyway, he appointed unqualified individuals to positions. All right, that's not good. Allegedly including a 10-year-old bishop. Check the hard drive. What the hell is wrong with this dude, bro? It goes all the way back to the beginning. You thought the Hail Satan was bad until he started being like, hey, kid, you got what it takes to be a star. You got the thighs of a bishop. We're going to make you famous. I mean, what a creep, dude. John the 12th. There was alleged in the 963 Synod, where there's a council of church leaders, that was convened in Rome to address these and other accusations against John the 12th. He accepted bribes in exchange for bishopric and other ecclesiastical offices, undermining the integrity of the church. So you shouldn't take bribes. That's not good. John the 12th was accused of grievous bodily harm and murder. He ordered his godfather to be blinded and had a cardinal castrated before killing him. I mean, this guy's just King Joffrey. That's the vibe I get. Like, he's Pope Joffrey. And, he's just a psycho. I mean, this is crazy. He regained power in Rome in 964. He mutilated his enemies, including cutting off the hand of Cardinal Deacon John and torturing others. After forming an alliance with King Otto I by crowning him Holy Roman Emperor in 962, John XII betrayed him by secretly negotiating with Otto's enemies, including the Byzantines. I mean, this guy, why is there no movie about him? Can we look if there's a movie about John XII? I mean, this guy is sick as hell. Right? I mean, minus
nothing.
Yeah, this got my rule, bro. I mean, for a show. Oh, no, Pope John Paul II.
No, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, JP2 is kind of a chiller. But no, we need John XII.
I doubt there's a movie about him.
Well, we're going to make it. If you guys want to support the creation of this film, we're going to be on a shoestring budget, but go ahead and throw some dollaroonies, throw some shekels into the chat, and might I just have to make this. Played by me. No intimacy coordinator. Just me and just a bishop that will do anything for the limelight. All right. Churches fell into disrepair after his administration. Due to neglect, he focused on hunting, gambling, and military campaigns, and that overshadowed his spiritual responsibility. Look, it just seems like wrong place, wrong time. Because if you told me that, like, oh, the king of the Holy Roman military, the general, and all he loved to do was hunt, gamble, and military campaigns, you'd be like, that sounds perfect. Right? Like, this just sounds like any guest on, like, Sean Ryan's podcast.
What era is it okay for the Pope to hail Satan and shoot dice?
Again, is it a bit? If he's doing it ironically, to be like, I'm the Pope, Hail Satan. You know, like, if he's like goofing off, like then it's like, all right, like if he's just being a silly goose, then it's fine. But yeah, if he's genuinely hailing Satan, probably not a good look. But the fact that he's doing it so publicly makes me think maybe he's just kind of being a goofball. He's 25.
Yeah.
What, you know, he's a kid. He's just.
Are you gonna talk about his death?
He died on May 14th, 964. Pouring out for the homie. Reportedly, he may have died of apoplexy or at the hands of an outraged husband. Well, we're going to need a little bit more information on that because that sounds crazy. What is that? What is apoplexy?
I just tried looking it up. It's some like internal bleeding, I think.
Okay. What does internal bleeding even really mean? Because isn't that where blood's supposed to be? Like, what the fuck? Like, it can't go. It's like, oh, it's going in the wrong place, I guess. Like, you got like a puncture wound in your lung and like blood's going in there.
Apoplexy refers to the rupture of an internal organ and the associated symptoms. Informally or metaphorically, the term apoplexy is associated with being feared. Oh, that's just the breakdown of the word.
I mean, of all the people to fact check, you know the least words.
It's a hemorrhagic stroke, typically involving a ruptured blood vessel in the brain. What was the word you didn't
know most recently? There was one that you said that you were like,
man boy.
I mean, that was an all-time one. We're all at a diner, and I was talking about a recent guest, Bob Hamer. Shout out to him. And I was like, yeah, he broke down the NAMBLA, you know, the National Association of Man-Boy Lovers. And David just looks at me and goes, what's a man boy?
It's the best superhero ever. I don't remember what word it is.
Just in a suit that's like a little too big for him. He's like, yeah, it's my dad's. I'm just trying to fit in.
It's a ruptured blood vessel in the brain.
Oh!
He nutted so hard that he...
Is that true?
No.
It could be.
Could be.
Also, apparently there was something about a husband, that there was an angry husband that was involved.
So in another version, he would have a male lover who murdered him out of jealousy.
A male lover that murdered him out of jealousy?
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, what is this? According to his harshest critic, Bishop Lutrepont, the young pope had been hit by a stroke while having sex with a married lady. Struck by paralysis, John lay in bed for 8 days until the devil himself dealt him a blow to the temple. According to another version, the Pope was fit as a fiddle while he frantically fornicated with a friend. Who wrote this?
A guy who loves alliteration.
This is me in 9th grade. According to another version, he was fit, and then the problem was the husband was fitter. I mean, this is... Dr. Seuss wrote this? He burst in the room, lifted John by the neck, tossed him from the window. As I said, out with a bang, one way or another. All right, biography.org. This guy's a little chipper on the keys, if I shall say so myself. So there he goes, that guy, John the 12th. I'm going to put him at number 1 so far. What do you guys think?
Is 1 being the worst?
1 would be the worst.
Put him at 10. He sounds sick.
He sounds chill, but of all the people we've gone through, I would say he's the worst. Pope Paul IV. His real name is Gian Pietro Carafa. He was born near Benevento in 1476. His papacy lasted from 1555 until he passed away in 1559, just a good short 4 years. One of his most notorious acts was issuing the papal bull Cum Numis Absurdum in 1555, which ordered the creation of a Jewish ghetto in Rome. Oops. Forced Jews to live in a walled-off area, restricted their rights, and subjected them to discriminatory measures. As a Catholic, my bad.
He's number 10.
My bad, Jews. Oh, man, that's not great that he did that. I mean, how bad was it? Let's just see. They were forced to wear distinctive yellow hats. They were already kind of doing that. For the record, he just changed the color, okay? Yeah, it's hard to defend the Catholics sometimes, all right? I try my best, but, you start committing, like, quasi-genocide, it's hard to support them. They were locked in at night. If it's on Shabbos, they do that anyway. All but one synagogue in the city was destroyed. That's not good. Jews were forbidden to trade in anything but food and secondhand clothes. Ugh, not great. Puffy, what are you? What were you about to say?
It's not great.
It's not great. That's all right, Paul. You racist mofo. You can't do that. If you're gonna be Pope, you can't be racist against anyone. Specifically, the prequel, as I call the Jews. You got to understand, I look at the Abrahamic religion as the Godfather series, okay?
They're one.
Look, Jews, Christianity, Islam. 1, 2, 3. I like all of them.
2, 1, 3. The second's the best one.
That's Christianity.
I'm agreeing with you.
So we're on the same page.
We're on the same page.
But I'm saying chronologically it's Judaism, Christianity, Islam.
Yeah.
Godfather 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
You see my point.
I see your point.
But I like all of them. I'm not against. Why are you winking?
Where are you? I didn't wink.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Are you on? Is he off camera? Because I feel like he's being subtly racist. No, shout out to all of them. Jews, Muzzies, you have a spot here in the tent. And I'm sorry about Paul IV. That sucks. I'm sorry he did that, guys. That just pisses me off. I hate racism. What? I'm being serious. That shit pisses me off. That's how I feel about racism. Fuck. I'm not going to stop until we eradicate racism. Paul IV introduced the Index Librorum Prohibitorium. That's a cute name. To crack down on Protestantism. That's something we can all get behind, right? That is something that in this tent we absolutely support. But let's just see what he did. All books written by Protestants were banned, along with Italian and German translations of the Bible. I'm listening. He imprisoned Cardinal Giovanni Morone, whom he suspected of being a hidden Protestant despite a lack of evidence. That's not as great, but look, Protestants, enough. Enough with the loud. Look, if you follow Jesus Christ, I support you, okay? I got your back. But it's just a lot of singing, right? It's just a lot of like hand waving, speaking in tongues. It's just a lot. Shout out to y'all. I got your back. I support you. At the end of times, we'll all be reunited in the kingdom of heaven. God has a spot for all of us in the choir of angels. But just chill for a fucking, right? It's just a lot. It's like, oh, the Holy Spirit's in me. Hey, just go to church and then go help a poor guy. You don't need this constant, God's talking to me, I hear him in my sleep. I'm going to put this guy at second. I think the first guy was more evil. No, this guy's more evil, actually. I take that back. I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking of the Protestant thing. This guy's more evil. You round up an ethnic group, that's going to put you at the top of the list. The other guy was just banging out people.
To spare Christos a bunch of work, these are final, right? You can't have him like rearrange the rankings as we go on.
And of course, you're going to rearrange the rankings. I don't know who's coming next.
Yeah, but that's like the whole point of blind ranking them.
I didn't know it was blind ranking.
We are blind ranking them.
Who says we're blind ranking? All right, fine. In that case, we're blind ranking them. The first one is 10. Because what did he do?
Because he was sick.
Because he was chill as hell. He was down. He kind of hailed Satan a couple times, which isn't great, but is sort of hardcore. And we don't know what he did with that bishop. But he was all... But look, we need to get the bishop on the record. And then this guy, Paul IV.
Number one.
I'm going to... Bubby, I'm going to put him... You probably got to put him at like 2 or 3.
Also, this guy was like a mafia guy.
Who?
Pope Paul IV.
What do you mean?
Pope Paul IV's nationalism was a driving force. He used the office to preserve some liberties in the face of fourfold foreign occupation. Like Pope Paul III, he was an enemy of the Colonna family.
At this time, in 1555?
It looks like it.
How far back is this going? Italians been fucking whopped out for 700 years?
They were flipping olive oil for hundreds of years.
I mean, that's crazy. How are they like that over there? That's so wild. What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I want to talk to you about the most discreet, coolest way to curb your nicotine cravings, and that's right here with Zippix. You probably see me chomping on a couple of these toothpicks. During the episodes of this podcast, I like to use a little bit of nicotine when I'm locking in on a long-term conversation with someone trying to figure out the deep meanings of life and aliens or even consciousness. I also like it when I'm trying to write. Sometimes right before I go on stage, I find that it just gives me a little bit more of a locked-in feeling. I can focus for a little bit longer. There's even been some studies to show that nicotine has improved aspects of fine motor skills, attention, and auditory processing and memory. So if you're trying to lock in for a little project you have, you just need a little boost. A little bit of nicotine is great. And these are great if you're trying to quit smoking too. If you don't want to fill your lungs up with smoke, but you still like the little nicotine feel, they have a bunch of great flavors. They also have 2 milligram and 3 milligram options. Zippix toothpicks are great for flights, a little sporting event, or even just hanging out with the boys, having a couple drinks. Zippix has helped hundreds of thousands of customers get their nicotine fix without needing to inhale smoke or vapes or any of that stuff. So if you're interested, go to Zippix, that's ZIPPIX, toothpicks.com, and the listeners of this program will get 10% off their first order by using the promo code GAGNON. That's right, GAGNON. Get 10% off. I also should let you know that you have to be 21 years old or older to order. Also, nicotine is an addictive chemical, so please use it wisely, only as much as you need. Now let's get back to the show. What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I need to tell you about how you are potentially entitled for some compensation. That's right. You may have been injured without even knowing it. And I think statistically, most Americans have been injured by this. We know that our food is poison. Many of these companies, these massive conglomerates, are pumping our food with stabilizers and gums and other processed chemicals that are illegal in most other countries. But for some reason in America, they are fully legal, and they are allegedly causing many health problems. That's a very small alleged. I actually just read a book about this, ultra-processed humans. It's fascinating that the processed chemicals that are going into our foods are terrible for you. I mean, if you were to take a baked cookie and a cookie that's filled with processed preservatives, even if they have the same exact nutritional profile, the one with the preservatives and all the gums and stabilizers and ultra-processing chemicals is going to be worse for you by a far, far margin. So, if you have been exposed to many of these ultra-processed foods, they've been known to be addictive, they've been known to target children, and they can potentially cause chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, both of which were unheard of 40 years ago, but now affect the lives of thousands of children. It looks like the people over at Morgan & Morgan are fighting for the people once again. That's right. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest law firm. I mean, they have, handled thousands and thousands of cases, recovered billions of dollars for their clients, and now they are targeting the ultra-processed food giants of the world, okay? So if you or your child has been diagnosed with one of these diseases that I mentioned before, you may have legal options. They have helped thousands of families seek justice against these big corporations, and they are ready to fight for you as well. So if you are interested, go to forthepeople.com/Gagnon. That's right. That is forthepeople.com/Gagnon. If you're interested in potentially hearing more about the way that these companies can be affecting you and your health and the health of your family, and how you may be entitled for compensation because of that. Now, I do have to disclose this is a paid advertisement. Now, let's get back to the show. Hey, just take them, give them a yellow hat, just put them in a little little thing. It's a big deal.
Just make sure they have a neighborhood for their own.
Yeah,
okay?
Give them a spot where they can trade in clothes and food.
Oh, look at that.
Why do they look like they're in Toy Story 3?
Like they got selected out of a vending machine.
Come on, bro. See, sometimes there's good in the bad. I think that's a good lesson.
Fucking drip, though.
Yeah. I mean, be honest. You wouldn't want to toss a ring on that thing? Just be like, yo, here's a shekel for your troubles.
Some loser in Bushwick would wear that today.
Yes, 100%. Now, look, we're allowed to joke about this because no one died.
Facts.
I don't look it up, but as far as I'm concerned, that's what happened. Cardinal Giovanni Marone, he was put in prison for being a Protestant, but that's all we know. But it is so funny. How do you find out that someone's a Protestant? Like, he's just wearing like a V-neck?
Scarlet letter, right?
Like back in Catholic times, how do you know someone's a Protestant? He's just got skinny jeans and like coiffed hair. He's like, I just love Jesus. It's my personal relationship.
Is that the stereotype of Protestants?
That's how I see him. I just love Jesus.
That was also you until like 5 years ago.
No, I'm a Catholic, bro. I'm ritualistic. I have a long liturgy that I support and proclaim. I'm like these Protestants. I'm just joking, Protestants. I love you guys.
Who's the next pope?
Pope Sixtus IV.
What's his name?
Sixtus IV.
Okay.
So you think it's Sixtus, but actually, he's the fourth. Former head of the Catholic Church. There he is. Pope Sixtus IV. Francesco della Rovere was born near Abissola in 1414. His parents were of modest means, and from an early age, he was directed towards the Franciscan order. Francesco distinguished himself academically. He studied philosophy and theology. So far, this guy sounds awesome. Mm-hmm. His intellectual prowess led him to prestigious teaching positions at Bologna, Pavia, Siena, and Florence, where he counted the eminent Cardinal Bessarion among his disciples. when Pope Paul II died unexpectedly in 1471. The College of Cardinals gathered to select a successor. While Francesco's scholarly reputation was certainly respected, his election was largely influenced by political considerations within the college. Various factions saw him in a candidate who might advance their interests, and after deliberations, he was elected in 1471. His consecration took place on August 25th, and he chose the name of Sixtus IV to honor his papal predecessor of the same name. So far, this guy is great. Sixtus IV abused his position to shower his family with gifts and power. He appointed 6 of his nephews as cardinals, granted his sisters luxurious homes in Rome, bestowed lordship and high-ranking positions upon other relatives. Out of 34 cardinals he created during his papacy, almost none were properly qualified. He often appointed individuals based on loyalty rather than merit. He also established the Spanish Inquisition, 1478. He issued a papal bull that created the infamous Inquisition, which has sweeping power to detain, interrogate, and torture people on the slightest accusation. This institution was targeted mostly towards Jews and any non-Christians. All right, 0-3, I guess. Not great. You can't do that.
I thought the Inquisition was against Muslims, like exclusively.
Look, according to Jesus, it's Jews and
This is what the posts were saying.
non-Christians. I'm just saying, dude. I don't know. You might have been on X. You might have gotten your information from X.
100%.
Sixtus IV, along with his nephew Riaro and Francesco, supported and formed a conspiracy within the Pazzi family to overthrow the Medici family in Florence. To fund his lavish projects and support his family, Sixtus IV engaged in controversial practice of selling church offices and the forgiveness of sins for money. So, on its face, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. You know what I mean? Just a little inquisition here and there. Helped out his family. Put his mom in a Benz. You know what I mean? You get your mom out of the hood, like...
Put her on a Mustang.
Fam, I fuck with you, fam. Yo, you're out the hood, fam, and your mom's still living in the hood? That makes me sick to my stomach, fam. But this guy didn't do that. He went and put his mama in a Benz. That's fire. Put her on South Beach. You gotta love that. So look, I don't have a real problem with that. I mean, I think eroding the institution of the church is probably not great.
No. Wait, did Martin Luther's thing come after this?
Don't even say that name around here.
No, but seriously.
The Reformation, I think, was shortly after.
But he started...
Wittenberg, Germany. Let me see. Martin Luther Reformation date.
You're saying Pope Sixtus...
1517. 1517 is when they say that the Reformation began when he pinned his 95 Theses.
So 34 years after he died.
Precisely. But that is largely what begets the Reformation, is that this guy's selling indulgences, saying that the only way to get to heaven is by giving us your last golden shekel, and we will get you into pearly gates. It's fucked up. I honestly think you could make a claim that this guy, despite not really doing anything that bad, you know what I mean, the Spanish Inquisition, whatever, is arguably the worst pope ever, because he's what ushered in the...
Rise of Protestantism.
Yeah, he ushered in the fall of the Catholic Church.
So we have a guy who gambled and fucked a lot.
He's low.
A guy who gave Jews really cool hats.
When you put it that way, honestly.
And then a guy who just put his mom in a penthouse.
But also destroyed the Catholic Church. This guy, I might put it too, honestly, as such a diehard...
Oh, shut up.
He destroyed the church and made...
The other guy was persecuting Jews.
Forced people. I'm saying if the church never broke up, how much better... Imagine what the world would look like with no Reformation. Can you even imagine what that is?
No, I can't. All right. This is your show.
Spaceships. You and me flying around. Like, oh. What the hell did you say, Gabe?
We already have a number 2. Pope John IV.
I put him there?
Yeah.
Damn it. All right, I'll put this guy at 3 then. 3 he goes.
Pope Francis better be number 1.
Wait, what do you do with gays?
He's letting gays walk around Vatican?
No, what next? They gotta let gay people adopt dogs? The guy thinks Pope Francis is the worst Pope. I mean, look at this guy. He's bringing a DJ to the Vatican. It's like, what is a bunch of fanooks running around the square? All right, Pope Sergius III. This guy, whose real name is unknown, was rife with political maneuvering where lines between religious authority and worldly ambition blurred. Accusations of immortality. What? Immorality. Whew. That's a crazy accusation. Like, yo, I think you're immortal. All right. Well, yeah, he looks
Six
evil.
side profile.
For sure evil, though.
He mouth tapes for sure.
Oh, yeah. Nah, is he mewing? Yeah, I mean, just like...
Are we sure he's Catholic?
Like, we got to see the face. But no, he's looks maxing for real. I mean, he looks unbelievable. I mean, minus the hair, but anyway. Do we have a Keeps or a hymn sponsor for this episode?
I'm working on that.
That'd be a good place, actually. Oh, yeah, I should ask you. But yeah, we should drop that in here right now. If you're losing your hair, Turkey, check it out. How do we get sponsored by a Turkish hair transplant company?
I'm working on
it. Are you really?
No. I'm working on hymns, though.
We'll look into that.
I'm actually going to clip this and send it to him to be like, Mark loves your stuff.
Huge fan. Huge fan. I mean, I have the hair for a hair sponsor.
They do more than hair.
See, now you're shilling for them, okay? And this is why I can't
They do
respect.
Lexapro.
That's fire. An all-in-one. Did I tell you about my male enhancement gum product that I'm going to be releasing?
Yeah. No, you didn't. Go ahead.
I just feel you want to shut me up.
Tell me.
I take that personally. This is a product that I'm going to be rolling out within the next 5 to 8 years. This is a male enhancement gum, okay? It is really tough, so it's like a
Jawzerciser.
It's like a Jawzerciser. You could think of it that way. It comes from specifically a tree sap found in Greece, in Chios. It's specifically one area, and so it's like a hard resin, and so it actually will give your jaw more definition, but also it has caffeine in it, give you a kick. Also, it has nicotine in it,
and
also it has Blue Chew in it.
But it has Sims in it.
It has Lexapro in it. I mean, you're going to tell me you're not feeling amazing? Oh, and it's minty flavored. So, breath smells good. Your
dick's rock hard.
Your dick's rock hard. Your
hair's great.
Your betas are blocked. You know what I mean?
You know who's not depressed? You.
This guy.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me you don't want some of those? Oh, guess who's a spokesperson? The Rizzler. That's why we have to wait. That's why we have to wait to roll the product out. And don't worry, you can get it in not flavored, okay? If you're like, oh, I don't like mint, we also have Cool Ranch. Coming to a gas station near you. Right next to the
gas
station. Are you kidding? It's just the Rizzler. His heart's exploding. Nicotine and a blood thinner all in one. Yeah, it's gonna put you on your ass.
Oh my god. Can we get back to the popes, please?
The most evil pope you've ever seen. This is what some of the popes probably look like. What is a young Italian kid trying to make? Yeah, just a young Italian. So this guy, Sergius III, he was evil. This guy was a bad dude. Apparently became a member of the clergy at a young age. 893, Pope Formosus installed Sergius as the bishop of Syre. Pope Theodore II made him reconfirmed his ordination. Sergius III is believed to have ordered the murders of 2 immediate predecessors, Pope Leo V and anti-Pope Christopher. What the hell is an anti-Pope, dude? I already said, was there a woman Pope? And you said no. Can we look? An anti-Pope? Anti-Pope Christopher. Whoa. Yeah. He claimed the papacy, although he was listed as a legitimate pope in most modern lists. Oh, his papacy is disputed. Wow. The apparent uncanonical method in which he obtained the papacy led to his being removed from the quasi-office roster of popes. Wow. So it's kind of like Mark McGuire. There's like an asterisk next to his name. It's like, hey, you did your thing. Oh, he only served for like a couple months. October to January? I mean, come on, that's barely winter. It's like a half a season. So yeah, this guy apparently killed people, which is not good. Leo V was reportedly strangled, while Christopher was also killed under suspicious circumstances. This makes him the only pope alleged to have directly ordered the assassination of another pontiff. Sergius III allegedly had an affair with Marozia, a powerful Roman noblewoman and member of the influential Theophylacti family. All right, we'll edit that. Just do AI or something to fix how I pronounce all these words. Their relationship reportedly resulted in an illegitimate son, which I hate when people say that. An illegitimate son. What does that even mean?
Bastard.
I guess, but like bastard at least makes sense because it's like, oh, that's what it means when you have a kid when you're not married. But an illegitimate son. It's like, you're my son, but like...
Illegitimate son makes sense in terms of like line of succession.
I guess. Yeah, he's the illegitimate heir. I don't know. It's not... What do you mean illegitimate? Anyway, this illegitimate son later became Pope John VI, or the 11th maybe. This whole thing is corrupt top to bottom. What's going on? I mean, oh, that's the girl that everyone was dogging? Marozia?
Fat Susie.
Oh, Fat Susie from around the way. Come on. And what does she have in her hair? I mean, what is that? It's just like a box?
She's got ears on her.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even
Looks like a Buddha.
Yeah, she does. She has a Buddha vibe for sure. And do we have any photos of her, or is it just drawings?
Dude, what?
It's worth asking. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like we just have drawings. Damn. I mean, yeah, this head situation is cool.
Oh, that one's not that bad. The colored one on the...
Hey, whoa, we don't say that anymore. What the hell's wrong with you? I mean, yeah, she's got a piece. And this one, wait, that might be Sergius III. I don't know what's going on. He was reaffirmed the infamous Cadaver Synod, originally conducted by Pope Stephen VI, which involved exhuming and desecrating the corpse of Pope Formosus. He convened a council that annulled all ordinations formed by Formosus, using bribery and threats to secure approval from clergy members. This decision caused widespread unrest and was ignored by many bishops outside of Rome. His papacy is marked by bribery, violence, and manipulation to consolidate power. Sergius III reportedly threatened clergy with exile or violence to enforce his decrees during councils. This guy's pretty bad. I mean, he actually was involved in murdering people.
What people, though?
No, two guys. Christopher. Yeah, and Christopher and whatchamacallit, the other guy.
The anti-pope?
The anti-pope is Christopher.
Oh.
Oh, Marozia was around 15 years old when she became his mistress. Strike. Can't do that. Right? Can't do that at all, even back in those days. Well, what were you about to say, David?
Absolutely.
You're about to
Nothing.
contribute something thoughtful?
Nothing.
Yeah, this guy's pretty bad. He killed two people, the anti-pope Christopher and Leo V. Not good. Yeah, I'm just going to teach him a lesson. You know, maybe you swim with the fishes or something. I don't know. I think this guy's got to go like 1.
What?
He murdered people.
Bro, oh my God.
How
this
is
ranking system's horrible.
What is your ranking?
11.
What?
This guy didn't do shit that, like, he murdered one person.
He banged out a 15-year-old.
Who hasn't? When the 15.
Wait, when who? All right. So, I mean, why? What do you think, Gabe? You think that's crazy to put him there?
Yeah, like number 9.
What? He murdered people. What do you think is a bad thing to do?
Are you saying murdering someone is worse than persecuting the Jews and the Muslims out of the Iberian Peninsula? One person, 2 people.
This is kind of a utilitarian debate, right?
Oh, God.
Is it worse for one person to be tortured for the rest of their life, or for all people on Earth to get a speck of dust in their eye at one moment?
What if that person, out of the 1 million people that get a speck of dust in their eye, how many of them are like tow truck drivers on the highway, and that veers them into the street and kills?
I don't know, maybe like a handful.
Okay, a handful.
But who knows if they hit anyone? Let's say they don't even hit anyone. Let's say it just happens to each person while they're doing something innocuous.
Well, who
eating
dies?
Breakfast.
What is?
No one dies.
No, but the person that does die in the latter, or in the former example, are they bad people?
Like, wait, who dies? Like,
You said it's either what's worse, one person dying or...
No, one person gets tortured for their whole life, and then they die.
I mean, everyone dies.
There you go. Or everyone just gets a speck of dust in their eye at one moment during the day while they're, eating breakfast.
I think the speck of dust is worse.
Because it's the overall suffering.
Yeah.
So if you had to choose one, you'd be like, oh, let's just have one person get tortured for the entirety of their life.
Yeah, just like tickle them to death.
No, that's not torture.
That's torture.
Have
you ever been tickled?
Torture for you.
It's horrible.
One man's torture, another man's fetish.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, fine. I'll put him at 3. Fine.
No, that's still too high.
5? He murdered people.
What's the highest one we have available, Gabe?
4.
What? That's impossible. I mean, lowest, whatever.
9?
9. Put him at 9.
Fine. I've been swayed. He'll go at 9. Pope Boniface VIII. He belonged to the Catini family. His uncle was a high-ranking official in Italy. He also had a granduncle who served as Pope Alexander IV. That'd be crazy if your uncle was Pope, right? I mean, just what a world. You'd just be like, yeah, my uncle, he's the Pope. Pope Alexander IV. I mean, wait, hang on a second. Oh, sick hat.
Swaggy.
I guess that is a good question. Does Pope Francis have a nephew or a niece?
I'm sure he does. Let me look this up.
Right, like a good Argentinian man?
No Argentinian man is good.
Leo?
Worst person in the world.
Leo Messi is
Horrible.
the worst.
Horrible. He's a midget with autism.
That's the worst take I've ever heard. Where is this coming from?
You should never read, man. He has 4 siblings. I'm sure one of them has kids.
Wow, that's crazy. Being like, yo, my uncle.
He's 88 years old.
Yeah, dude.
He's got to die soon.
What do you mean has to?
He has to die soon.
I wouldn't say has
No
to.
Argentinian man should have the highest seat in Catholicism.
You know, he used to be a bouncer.
Yeah, I'm sure he was. That's an honor for Argentinian men.
Why do you have against Argentinians? Did someone break your heart?
No, impossible.
I don't understand where this is coming from.
December 17th, 2022. That's when my life ended. Argentina won the World Cup.
Against who do you support? Ecuador? You thought Ecuador had a fighting chance against Argentina?
No, it's technically we went to penalties with them in the Copa America in 2024, but as a Ronaldo fan, I died that day.
Get off. Anyway, he was working with his uncle, Benedetto, and joined the Order of Friars and spent time in their monastery, and then he became a cardinal in 1281. Pope Boniface VIII confiscated lands and property belonging to powerful Colonna family in Italy, redistributing them to his own relatives. This act of nepotism and aggression led to a bitter feud with the family and eventually participated in his abduction in 1303. Whoops. After promising mercy to the people of Palestrina if they surrendered, Boniface ordered the town to be destroyed and its earth salted, an act of betrayal that shocked contemporaries. Damn, salting the earth. That is just kind of wild to do. I mean, that is a grudge. To eliminate a potential rival, Boniface allegedly imprisoned his predecessor, Pope Celestine V. After forcing his abdication, Celestine later died in captivity under suspicious circumstances, leading to accusations of foul play. Boniface was accused of simony, selling church offices for personal gain. Dante Alighieri was exiled due to Boniface's political maneuvering in Florence, placing him in hell in the Divine Comedy for corruption and simony. He died shortly after his abduction. All right, this guy doesn't seem that evil to me.
What did he just had like political enemies?
Yeah, he stole land from people and then redistributed it to his family.
Just more nepotism, that's fine.
Yeah, he promised mercy to people of the land if they surrendered, but then he ordered the whole town to be destroyed and then salted the earth.
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Salted the earth.
Like you literally pour salt all over the earth, so all over the ground, so that that's not funny. Why'd you
You said literally salted the earth.
Yeah, no, he put salt on the, I mean, you've heard the term. Like,
I've heard the term, I just never questioned it.
He put salt all over the earth, and then now you can't grow any crops or goods on the earth. I keep saying earth.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing.
It's just
It's like every cubic centimeter.
Yeah. It's just the ground, I guess.
Okay, that's not that bad.
But it is kind of ironic that you call a great person salt of the earth, but then if you want to destroy a town, you salt the earth. Kind of crazy, right?
Kind of crazy.
But
that's it?
Yeah, that's basically all it seems like.
I think we started off too strong.
But he also sold church offices for personal gain, and Dante of Dante's Inferno.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Divine Comedy. He put him in hell. Who do you think wrote the Divine Comedy and the idea of Dante's Inferno?
I knew it was Dante. I just didn't know it was that Dante.
Dante Alighieri.
So 8.
Yeah, but if Dante thinks he's evil, I mean, maybe that was just for his time. All right. Pope Benedict the Ninth. Old Bedix. The Count of Tusculum was the father of Benedict the Ninth and named him Theophylactus. The official title was Theophylactus of Tusculum. He was extremely young when he became pope for the first time and was unprepared for the job. Though official records show that he was 20, monk Rupert Glauber alleges that he was as young as 11. That's crazy. How do you put an 11-year-old as the pope?
Yeah, what was going on back then?
I don't understand. I mean, I guess people just die all the time. I mean, this must be, what was this, 10? Like the schism happened right around this time?
Did they still select popes the same way as we do now?
I think so, yeah. They have like a whole
congregation,
light up some smoke. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I'm Catholic, I know.
Benedict IX received the position after his father paid off a group of Romans. He was expelled from Italy due to widespread dissatisfaction with his immoral behavior. Emperor Conrad II sent forces to secure his return and put him back in control. He was pope on 3 different occasions. Benedict IX was accused of hosting orgies at the Lateran Palace, involving both men and animals. Ugh.
You had me at orgy.
Depraved 14-year-old. What the hell? Pope Victor III described Benedict's papacy as so vile, so evil, so execrable that I shudder to think of it, referring to his R words, murders, and other unspeakable...
Wait, say the first part again?
His R words. I don't want to say the word.
Oh, I thought you meant retard.
Whoa, no. Hey, kid, whoa.
I would say grapes.
That's crazy.
Look,
All right.
he was so sick.
I mean, it's kind of chill. But no, this guy's doing bad things. He's doing R words, murders, and other unspeakable acts of violence and sodomy.
This guy degraded the religion, so this could be high.
Thank you.
Yeah.
1045, Benedict IX became the first person in history to sell the papacy. He sold his position to John Gratian. Just sounds like a guy.
Why, he sold being the Pope?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great.
And he did it to finance his wedding or establish a pension.
Whoa. That's
Wait a
great.
second, socialist? Wait a second, Bernie bro?
Bernie bro.
Wait a second, all-time Bernie bro? Is that what he was doing? 1049, Benedict refused to appear on charges of simony and was subsequently excommunicated. Benedict was forced out of Rome twice due to opposition to his dissolute lifestyle. September 1044, he was expelled from the city, and Sylvester III was elected to replace him. It's important to note that while these accusations are severe, some historians caution that reports of Benedict's misdeeds may have been exaggerated by his political opponents. What? Hey, just say you just fucked a sheep, huh? Just say he's banging out sheep, and then we'll just kind of just ruin his reputation. There's nothing. Yeah, this guy's
I
crazy.
forget that every post just Italian.
Yeah, we don't talk about that enough.
What was that quote from Cuomo?
Which one?
I'm not creepy. I'm just Italian.
Yeah, come on. What? I didn't bang a sheep. I'm Italian.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get the sheep side of the story, huh? Let's see what the sheep had to say.
How do you know that sheep didn't come on to me?
Yeah, right. I'm a victim. You saw that sheep was looking at me. I mean, yeah. Pope Victor III said, "So vile, so foul, so execrable." Execrable? I don't even know what that word is. That he shudders to think of it. I'm going to say this guy's pretty evil. Can we put him at 3?
I don't think we can.
Shall we? What's up, guys? We're going to take a break really quick because I'm sitting here in my beautiful tent, as you can see, every week, day in, day out. And people always ask, they say, Mark, how do I have a tent like that? I want to sit in a beautiful tent and invite a lover, a friend, you know, someone that I appreciate and adore. I want to give them a good time inside my tent. Well, it's easy. Thanks to the good folks over at BlueChew.com. That's right. Blue Chew is the original OG brand offering chewable tablets. And what do these tablets do? Oh, I'm glad you asked. They are going to give you just a stronger, harder, and longer lasting sexual performance. That's right. They're going to help you pitch a tent any place, anywhere. And the best part, it's all done online. That means you don't have to go to a doctor's office and talk to them, be like, oh, I'm feeling some type of way. Look, this is not for people that are, lacking necessarily. This is for people that want to have the best experience of their life, whether it's Valentine's Day, birthday, a funeral. Who knows? Whenever you need it, you never know when you could use Blue Chew. And we have a special deal for the listeners of this program. That's right. Try your first month of Blue Chew for free. That's right. Completely free. Mark, is it going to work for me? Hey, it's free. Why not just try it? Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast. All right, now let's get after it and let's get back to the show. All right, Pope Alexander VI. He grew up in Chatavia, which is now part of Spain, when his maternal uncle, Pope Calixtus III, adopted the name Rodrigo Borja. After studying law at the University of Bologna and earning a degree, he became the cardinal deacon of a local church. Rodrigo spent many years serving the church in different roles and had experience working with 5 popes before he became the pope himself. His church career started in 1445 when he was just 14 years old. His rise through the church hierarchy helped along by his uncle, Alphonse de Borja, who had been elevated to the rank of cardinal by Pope Eugene. Leveraging his newfound influence, Cardinal Alphonse secured his young nephew the position of sacristan at the prestigious Cathedral of Valencia. This appointment marked the beginning of Rodrigo's long and controversial journey within the Catholic Church, which would eventually lead him to the papal throne as Pope Alexander VI. Alexander used his position to enrich his family, particularly his children. Wait, hold on a second. How do you have children? He carved out fiefdoms from papal lands for his offspring and arranged politically advantageous marriages for them. Alexander VI was known for his extramarital affairs and fathered several children, all of whom were illegitimate. What are the odds? These kids are just looking at themselves like, I'm not even legit, dude. Right? All these people are like, yo, I'm too legit. I'm like, literally, you're not legit. Literally, you are the definition of illegitimate. He allegedly shared a mistress with his rival, who later became Pope Julius II. Whoa!
Imagine that girl.
I mean, Eskimo bros with the Pope?
Do you know she has 2 popes under her body?
I mean, that's crazy.
Wait, who was the girl? Was it
Was
it
noshing my
Vanosa
bed,
de
Pope.
Catan?
What'd you say?
Was it Vanosa de Catane?
I don't know who that is. Is that someone you know? Is that someone related to you? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm looking at his Wikipedia. I can't pronounce this fucking name.
Yeah, no one can. I don't think anyone can. Alexander VI confiscated property for wealthy individuals, woke, often on false charges, fine, to enrich himself and eliminate rivals. This guy's a modern-day Luigi Mangione, right? He's going after the rich, giving it to the slightly less rich.
His children?
Yeah. Which, if you look at what Robin Hood did,
He did the same.
almost the exact same.
What's the difference?
Robin Hood gave it to everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
But this guy only gave it to his kids. But again, take it from the rich, give it to the slightly less rich. I'm just saying, dude, look into it. He might be onto something. There were rumors of an incestuous relationship with his daughter, Lucrezia. But if she's his illegitimate daughter, I think game on. Fueled by confusing papal decrees. See, there's always a loophole, right? You always got to find, there's always a way. He allowed his daughter Lucrezia to preside over church affairs in his absence, shocking the Vatican. 1501, Alexander VI and his son, Cesare, allegedly hosted a scandalous party involving 50 courtesans in the papal palace. However, modern historians doubt the veracity of this account. Who are the historians? They're just his, like, nephew or some shit? Like, nah, he wasn't fucking anyone. Come on, you guys.
I don't want to be gross, but his daughter's a piece.
Oh! Whammy!
If that was your illegitimate daughter.
Let me check. Yep.
Gay son or illegitimate daughter?
I mean, yeah. She got the absolute treatment back in the day. I mean, how old is she in this picture? Can we just verify that?
Let's not verify that.
She's obviously 18. Daughter of Pope Alexander VI. This is a paperback?
From Walmart?
Why are all these pages stuck together of the Pope's daughter? What's going on? Why you got a book here on the cover? you got a dog here. Come on. I mean, that's wild. We got some other pics. She got a Linksy. Check her link tree, can we?
Oh, that's fire. There's nip in that.
Oh.
She looks like an illegitimate son in this one. Are you kidding me?
Look like she got some layups playing deep too, all right? I mean, yeah, this is, I mean.
She's a fucking baddie. That's the first baddie I've seen from this era in my life.
What era is this, a medieval?
I don't know,
times?
pre-20th century. Where are we?
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like you don't know, like, you're just saying, like, prior to the 1900s.
Yeah,
All
even then, 1950.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough sledding for a long time, and then we got filters or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out.
She's hot.
No, I mean, for sure. I mean, we got to blur some of the stuff. Do we have any other? Let's go through it. Let's keep on scrolling. She got a wiki feet. Pope's daughter. All right.
Not great.
Not ideal. But we all have bad portraits. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a great side profile.
You never had a bad portrait taken of you?
Never in my life.
You never sat down and you're like, oh, that was a wrong 8 hours. I just had a bad 8 hours.
Oh, she was a baddie.
Yo, might be a piece.
She was a piece.
I mean, absolutely all time. And your dad's the Pope. You're like, yeah, my dad's the Pope, so.
Yeah, my illegitimate father.
Yeah, my illegitimate daddy is actually the Pope, so he's my father and my daddy.
Chill.
What?
That's a little wild.
What? That's the Padre. I'm just saying that is crazy that you got to have. If you're a pope, you can't be having kids and then have people know about them. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, what did this guy even do? I feel like he's not that bad.
It's just another nepotism thing. Like,
yeah.
he slutted out his daughter.
All right, yeah. I mean, what, 8? What do we have left?
You keep saying 8. We ran out of 8 since the first fucking one.
All right, fine.
Go 6.
Put him at 6. Also, let the record show most of these bad popes were back in the day. We haven't had a bad pope since medieval times.
Well, Pope John Paul II got shot. He must have been doing something wrong.
Yeah, what was the whole thing with that? What was that? Was that like a turf war?
Yeah, it was like a Turkish guy, Muslim guy that shot him.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know this?
I mean, I knew he got shot.
It was a Turkish Muslim guy.
But I just didn't know the details. I don't know why. Like, was it like a gang thing? A Turkish citizen, Mehmet Ali. Oh, I got to talk to Efe about this. This is you can't do that. Ali Agha.
Oh, look at the conspiracy theory.
Assassination attempt led to various conspiracy theories, possibly regarding the involvement of the Bulgarians and the Russians.
Oh, he was a Polak.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
I knew that, but reminded me.
Yeah, I mean, go to any Polish restaurant. You're gonna see a giant picture of this guy that's all worn down from when he came to America.
There's a statue of him in Greenpoint. Have you ever walked by it?
I mean, I'm sure. Like, I've seen the statue. I don't know if I could say I've ever walked by it.
I've walked by it. You know, this was my patron saint for my confirmation.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Why'd you pick him?
Because he loves sports. He was like a big soccer player. I'm like, so am I.
Okay, well, that's just because he was like the most recent pope to become a saint.
Yeah. Look at that. Outside, God, I cannot pronounce any of those Polish names.
You can pronounce that.
Stanislaus Kostka Church in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which implores the faithful Nibonsha, meaning don't be afraid.
I mean, that's confident. You said all those words with a lot of confidence and a lot of conviction.
All right, who we got next?
Pope Leo X. Okay. Giovanni was the second son of Lorenzo the Magnificent, leader of the Florentine Republic. He was born with the path of the clergy already set before him. His father managed to convince Innocent VIII, a relative, to make Giovanni cardinal deacon of Santa Maria in Domenica when he was only 13. Giovanni would not wear what?
2 things. What? Number 1, Gabe, go to the photo of him as a baby.
No way, bro. That motherfucker. I've seen that image before. That's
in the Met, I think. I'm almost positive
that's on my timeline, like once a week. That's on Instagram. His father managed to convince Innocent VIII to make Giovanni the deacon when he was only 13. Giovanni would not wear any clerical insignia or participate in college deliberations until he turned 16. He received an education in humanities by Lorenzo Court of Influence, then moved to studying 4 degrees in theology and canon law from 1489 to 1491. March 1513, he was elected pope. This guy sounds great so far. No issues. Leo X drained the papal treasury with his lavish lifestyles, extravagant parties, and patronage of the arts. He spent vast sums on rebuilding St. Peter's Basilica and funding Renaissance artists like Raphael and Michelangelo. To replenish the depleted treasury, Leo X sold church offices and cardinal positions to the highest bidders. He expanded the sale of indulgences beyond previous excesses, essentially allowing sinners to buy their way out of damnation. Leo X allegedly fabricated a plot against himself to eliminate and extort money from 5 cardinals that he disliked. This resulted in 1 execution and hefty fines for the others. Look, I know you guys are going to say, this is not a big deal. I know you guys are going to say, hey, who cares? This guy just dressed up like one of Santa's elves. It's not a problem. My issue with this is that this is literally the guy that I think caused the Reformation. October 31st, 1517. Yes, that is when the 95 Thesis went up on the wall.
Did you fart?
I did. I'm sorry.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I've just been protein loading, and I think it's doing something in my lower intestines. You don't have this issue? It's because you're not eating enough protein. I'm just saying. Leo X is, I would say, what's the highest one we have so far left?
1 or 5. 5, 4, and 1.
I'm putting him at 4. He destroyed the Catholic Church.
What? This led to the Protestant Reformation?
Yes. Martin Luther put the thesis up in 1517, right when Pope Leo X was around.
So what was the worst thing he did?
I mean, sold indulgences and convinced basically all of Europe that the only way to get to heaven is to give up their money.
Okay, that's fine.
It's depraved and wrong. You shouldn't do that.
So you're saying selling indulgences is worse than excavating the Jews?
Excavating?
What does that mean? It sounded right.
I wouldn't say excavating. Look, I put that guy way higher, Paul IV. I put him at like 3. So I'm
The process of digging.
yeah. What do you think? They're going through bones. Oh, we found Mortimer. Put Mortimer in the
All right,
Natural
put him-
History Museum.
You put him forward. These last two better be fucking horrible. Because since the second one we went over, it's just nepotism and selling indulgences, and that's fine. You know?
The indulgences part. I'm just saying, you get to heaven through Christ. And also a little bit of works here and there, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and fucking your daughter.
Yeah, that's not good.
After looking at her, hey, he's dead.
Pope Stephen the Sixth.
Stephen?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a pope name.
Steve.
Steve.
Old Stevie Sixes. He was the Pope from some time. We don't know exactly when.
896 to his death.
Oh, 897. He was only Pope for about a year.
Must have been fucking horrible.
Must have been bad. Scholars have debated his appointment, and they were not sure if this was forced upon him. He was elected Pope in 897, and he followed in his father's footsteps by entering the church and receiving appointment to the bishopric of Inagdi from Pope Formosus. Pope Formosus has a whole lot of baggage with him. We got to look into this. So his father was a priest, and then he, like, when were priests not allowed to get married? When was that a thing? Because apparently in 897, this guy had a kid, and then his kid became Pope, and that was not an issue for anyone.
I'm sure they went through a period of immorality where like people looked the other way.
Oh, wow. Priestly marriages were stopped in 1123, probably because of these motherfuckers. Stephen VI ordered the exhumation of his predecessor.
Exhumation.
Excavation. I mean, somehow your word came all the way back around. They excavated his predecessor, Pope Formosus, who had been dead for about 7 months. His corpse was dressed up in papal vestments, propped up on a throne, subjected to a posthumous trial. Say nothing if you're gay. Told you guys. Look at this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defendant clearly did not say anything. Therefore, he's a fanook.
Put him on trial, and a deacon was appointed to defend the corpse, but Formosus was found guilty. So you get for getting a public defender, dude.
Cuts with a Morgan.
That's why you can't get a public defender. That's why if you're a corpse going to trial, you need Morgan & Morgan. All right? And call them up, and they will get you right. I bet you they could have won it for a dead guy. Right?
Yeah, easy.
They probably could have. They're America's largest attorney. Trial. Whatever.
They're the largest U.S. social casino.
The words get so tough sometimes. I just want to make my kid proud. His papacy was declared null and void, and all his acts, including ordination and appointments, were invalidated. After the trial, Stephen VI ordered that 3 fingers from Formosus's right hand, used for blessings.
No, you got it right.
Shocked the world. His body was stripped of its sacred vestments. He was dressed as a layman, dragged through the streets of Rome, and eventually thrown into the Tiber River.
This is the biggest hater in the world, and I love it.
All-time hater, right?
Not only did he dig him up,
Yeah, we can have birdied with him. He put some shades on him. They're like, nah, it's fine. Do it.
So are you gay?
Yeah. I'm telling you.
No, but then you cut off 3 fingers, and then you dress him as a layman. He just took his drip. Also, I love that photo because he's yelling at him as if he's alive.
Yeah. And everyone just kind of went along with it.
God, the amount of people that had to been like, no, that's great.
Do we? Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, like it worked. I mean, that's crazy. This does look like a picture of Trump and Biden debating, though. Am I right, though? Am I right, dude? Am I right? But because he's dead, get it? Because he's senile. Anyway, yeah. I mean, this guy's an all-time legend. If you're I've never hated someone so much. I'm gonna dig up their body just to ridicule them in front of their family. Right? I mean, that's sick as hell.
I can't tell if he's the worst person ever. He should be 10 on the list.
Or yeah, like how many people did he disrespect? One guy?
Just one. And he was already dead. He didn't kill anyone.
Yeah. He just digged up a dead guy.
Dressed him up.
Excavated him.
Cut off his fingers.
What did he do with the fingers?
You don't want to know.
No, come on.
You don't want to know.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that's crazy. You hold up your little necklace, I smell these things. Like, ew. Is it the dead Pope's fingers? What the hell? You just got a shocker on your neck at all times. And these guys are supposed to be getting people to heaven, and here they are exhuming bodies and cutting off fingers. I mean,
Wait, how did he not get to it?
I don't know how he does.
He was thrown in prison and he was strangled to death.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense. Right?
I want to leave the one spot just in case. I feel like Jesus wrote this purposefully.
Oh, with the closer?
Yeah.
You think you put a perfect closer? All right, so where do we put him? What do we got left?
I think we have 5 left besides 1.
All right, throw him at 5. Let it be. All right, here we have number 1, the most evil pope. His name is Francis.
Seriously?
No.
No, come
Are
on.
you crazy?
Let's do that.
What did Pope Francis do that was so bad?
Look it up.
All right.
Number 1, his blood.
What does that mean?
It's just who he is.
He bleeds, baby blue and white. That's the problem. Let's see what he did. I'm not here to talk poorly about the Pope, okay? I love the Pope. I love the church. But the corruption of Pope Francis is of a different character. His corruption is in promoting people who are corrupt in all these ways and then personally corrupting the faith. Whoa. Did my mom write this? This is literally what she's been saying this whole time. Look, I'm not of the position to say that Pope Francis is the worst. I think that would be hasty.
For example, African bishops publicly criticized Pope Francis's December 2023 ruling that allowed blessings of individuals in same-sex couples. No one's more homophobic than the Africans.
Why are they gay?
Why are you gay?
Padre Francis, why do they eat a poo-poo? Why? You've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen it. I got DM'd that last week.
Por qué?
Why are you gay?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of people are curious about that.
A lot of people are curious. Fuck Miles in the chat. All right, who's number 1, actually?
Pope Innocent VIII.
Not so innocent.
Am I right? He was born Giovanni Battista Cibo. He was born in Genoa and was a part of an old... Genoa? How do you pronounce that?
Genoa.
Genoa. Oh, no, this guy is Italian through and
This
through.
guy's a huge fucking kitty. Oh my God.
This guy's nipples are pepperonis. He spent most of his youth in a Neapolitan court. That is a court with black people, white people, and pink people. Although, that's a bad joke.
Wait, pink people? I don't get it.
Like a Neapolitan ice cream?
Cut that. Jesus Christ.
You got to shoot sometimes. Look, although Cibo was appointed a canon of Cathedral of Capua, however, disputes with the Archbishop of Genoa caused him to resign. He then went to Padua and Rome for his education. Innocent VIII was issued a papal bull, the Summus Diserrantis Affectibus, in 1484, which authorized the persecution of people accused of witchcraft. This guy is awesome. The bull empowered inquisitors like Heinrich Kramer to prosecute alleged witches in Germany, leading to widespread trials and executions, including burning women at the stake. The bull was heavily abused for political and personal gain. Wow, so this guy was burning witches at the stake, the first witch trial by the 1484. Did he get any witches? I think we got to look into that. When we look at all this witch trial stuff, everyone's always talking about, all the innocent women that were killed, which is bad.
Sure.
Any witches.
Any witches.
If you get one witch, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
Right? How do we know if there are any witches that were killed? And everyone's like, oh, I've never seen a witch. Yeah, because they were all killed. Fucking idiot. It seems like no one is critical thinking anymore to understand how witchcraft and dark arts even work in our world. Look, killing innocent women, I feel like, is probably bad.
Probably.
I think that it's going to put you near the top of the list. Let's see what else he did. Maybe he redeems himself. Innocent VIII practiced rampant nepotism, advancing his illegitimate children within the church and Italian society. Again, seen it, been there. That's just what Italians do.
Yeah.
To address financial problems inherited from previous popes, Innocent VIII created unnecessary church offices and sold them to the highest bidders. This is called simony. How do you not? It's like you're not even listening.
I wasn't.
We always do this. Why does no one ever ask, oh, how's Mark doing? Innocent VIII permitted trade with Barbary merchants involving foodstuffs exchanged for slaves who were then converted to Christianity. All right, that's a wash. He personally received 100 Moorish slaves from King Ferdinand of Aragon, distributing them among favored cardinals. Ouch! Not good. You can't do slavery. But while we're on the topic, can you look up what a Moor looks like? because that's going to really change how much we joke about this. And, can't do that. Where were the Moors living? Where are these Moors from?
I thought they were from like North African, and then they went to the Iberian Peninsula.
That's what I thought. I thought they were looking like Maghrebi. I thought they'd be like Tunisian.
Like a bunch of Mo Salahs.
I thought it was going to be a couple Zinedine Zidans, a couple Mo Salahs. They're North African, Iberian Peninsula. You fucking crushed that? Let me see if you...
I'm on YouTube, you bitch.
All right.
Not your dumbest friends anymore.
Yeah, evidently. Wow, okay. So, look, you can't have slaves. That's going to be one of my rules. And again, I don't like to get political on the show, but slavery, I don't like it. It pisses me off. So, this guy, then Innocent the Eighth banned Giovanni Pico di Mirandola, his 900 thesis, one of the first printed books to be censored by the Catholic Church. 900 thesis. Wow, that's crazy. Martin Luther didn't even invent his own idea. Fucking dumbass. 13, right? What a dipshit. He's like, oh, how do I stir up trouble? Look, all right, maybe that's a point. 13 propositions were deemed heretical, and reading it was punishable by excommunication. Wow. I mean, look, I'm going to say this guy might be the worst.
Oh, God.
He killed women.
You haven't slapped a bitch here and there? So for Italians, that's like par for the course.
He bought a bunch of slaves.
Moorish slaves. Okay.
Moorish.
Bad.
Not full Moors.
Moorish.
Moorish, though. And distributed them amongst the cardinals. You can't do that. I think
he's number one.
I think there's an argument to be made.
Some guy fucking unburied a dead body. Put him on trial.
That's more wacky. If we were doing a wacky list of all the popes, yeah, he'd be chart topping.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's the most evil. And exhuming one body, propping them up.
Was it chattel slavery or like cool slavery?
Wait, what's the difference?
You tell me. I don't know.
I don't fucking who knows. Technically, I doubt that it was of the chattel delineation, but it's still slavery nonetheless, and that I find deplorable. Now, somehow we've miscounted because there's still another pope to be read.
It's the Undertaker. Pope Francis comes out.
Oh, we're going to have an SS tier? Let's just see about Pope Julius II from 1443 to 1513. He was born in an impoverished family to a Grecian woman. He was educated by a Franciscan friar, then sent to study at Perugian University. His uncle became Pope Sixtus IV. You ever heard of him? Giuliano became Bishop of Carpentras in October 1471. 2 months later, he would be elevated to cardinal, and he enjoyed the position of Archbishop of Avignon and at least 8 bishoprics. After serving as a papal legate, I don't know. These words are dumb as hell. Giuliano as its Archbishop of Avignon, and that would maintain his position until he became Pope. He was nicknamed the Warrior Pope. Julius II engaged in incessant wars against Venice and France. He personally led military campaigns, expanding the papal states through force. Julius II prioritized secular power, territorial expansion over spiritual matters, contributing to discontentment that eventually led to the Protestant Reformation. Julius II granted indulgences in exchange for money to fund the building of St. Peter's Basilica, a practice that later sparked Martin Luther's protests. Julius II formed and broke alliances with several European powers, often at the expense of stability in Italy. Known for his violent temper, losing self-control, and behaving rudely. I don't know how he died, but this guy just seems like he was an asshole. But it doesn't seem like the most evil. He didn't murder any women. Potential witches. Alleged witches. I'm going to put this guy somewhere in the middle. I don't know. Do we have any numbers left?
He just died of illness.
All right. So how bad could he really have been?
Yeah.
I mean, he did cause the Protestant Reformation. Ugh.
There's been 3 fucking popes that have started the Protestant Reformation. Which one is it?
Look, it's not just going to be one guy. Okay. Let the record show. And this guy looks like he was the pope right before Martin Luther did the 95 Theses. He died in 1513.
Okay.
So right before Leo X. So I don't know. I think you could probably point to a couple different factors, but this guy had the longest papacy prior to the Protestant Reformation, so I think he gets some of the blame.
All right, so looking at it as a whole, they all sold indulgences. They all had nepotism.
Almost all of them had nepotism. Some of them sold
indulgences. And only a few fucked their daughter. Only one, really.
That is true.
So we have to, if they're all doing the same thing, but only one of them's fucking their daughter. Super hot.
But her hotness has nothing to do.
Your heart has everything to do with it.
Okay, I don't know if that's legal.
You had an illegitimate daughter.
Yeah.
A piece.
Okay.
Batty.
Illegitimate just means you're not married.
I thought it wasn't yours if it was illegitimate.
I mean, that's how I think it should be pronounced, but that's not the necessary. That's not actually what it is.
I don't know. I think the nepotism kind of lost its sting after like the 5th one that we read about did it.
I agree. So there's probably way more that did nepotism. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think murdering women and having slaves, that's got to put you at number 1. I think rounding up an entire ethnic group and putting them into ghettos and giving them awesome swag.
Yeah.
That's going to put you at number 2.
Whoa, no. I mean, you just give them swag.
Yeah.
The other guy fucking cut off 3 fingers and dressed him as a layman. He de-dripped him.
That is true. But also it was one guy that was already dead.
1,000 Jews with cool hats.
I'm saying, if you shoot me while I'm alive or you shoot me while I'm dead, I'd much rather you do the second one.
Okay.
Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy.
If you're going to drag me through the city, cut off my fingers, I'd rather you do it.
When you're dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we got a good list here. Pope John IV. Yeah, that guy's not good. Pope Innocent. Yeah, I think we nailed it with that one. I think that one's...
Who's 10, Gabe, in this one?
I forgot the Pope's name. It was the first one we did.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The guy who was just gambling and fucking whores.
Yeah, Hail Satan. I mean,
Hail
what?
Satan.
Yeah, right? This guy's just like a fucking lead singer. The guy's sick as hell.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that has been another wonderful episode of Camp.
Close it out stronger. Come on. Where's the energy?
We're going to land this thing nice and slowly. Appreciate you guys for listening and tuning into another episode of Camp. Appreciate everyone that has tuned in to these episodes. Thank you for everyone that's gone to the merch store, picked up some, barrels, or maybe a mug, or maybe even a shirt or a cap. And all the people that have come to see me on the road. It means the world. You've made all of my dreams come true. And with your contributions to tickets, I'm able to give my kid just a chance at not, being a poor pope. David, anything you'd like to contribute?
I think I already said my piece about...
Gabe, anything you want to say about the popes?
All good.
Praise God. Peace be with you, and I'll see you next time. If you've made it to the end of this episode, that's because you rock with us, and for that, we rock with you. You are sophisticated, you enjoy honest, true communication, a highbrow type of person that understands this. History is not just dates and names, it is a tapestry of human triumph and tragedy. From the day Nostradamus made his first prophecy to the morning Paul Revere took his midnight ride, from ancient oracles to modern revolutionaries. That is why I need you. If you have not already, please sign up for Today in History, our free newsletter. Today in History brings you the stories that matter, the moments that changed everything, and the secrets hidden in time. Join thousands of history enthusiasts who get their daily journey through time. Don't let another day of history pass you by. Take the conversation to your inbox. Sign up now through the QR code or link in the description. Today in History, because history's stories shape tomorrow's world. Thank you for watching the episode. We'll see you next time.